What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another home calisthenics video. So in today's session, we're going to be covering a handstand session. Again, my friend Andy's going to be joining today. Actually, no, this is the first time you're joining me. So Andy's going to be joining me for the first time, and you're going to get the perspective from both a beginner and a newbie as well. So let's get this video rolling. Okay, so first things first, we want to get the warm-up out of the way. So we're going to do some wrist stretches, shoulder stretches, lat stretches like we did with the calisthenics session. And then I'm going to show you a very interesting PMF stretch to open up tight lats. So with the handstand position, we're going to make sure the handstand line is completely straight. Now, if your lats are too tight, what will happen is the handstand will start looking like this. So we'll work on a drill that will let you extend the lats a bit more. So we're going to turn the wrists out first. And you're going to do 10 pulses backwards, nice and gently. We're going to make sure that the palms are grounded at the same time and the fingers are spread. And once you've done 10 of those, so 5 circles one way, and then 5 circles the other way. Good, and palms facing the ceiling, same thing again. Try and keep those elbows straight, turn the elbow pits forward, and we're going to do the same thing. So 10 pulses backwards first, and then 5 circles one way and then the other way. And the final position is palms grounded, fingers facing forward, fingers spread, elbow pits turn forward, keep the elbows straight, and 10 pulses forward. And then 5 circles one way and then 5 circles the other way. Good. Okay, so we're going to slide ourselves into a puppy dog stretch again, and just like the previous video, we're going to make sure that the hips are on top of the knees. So we don't want to be too far forward, and we don't want to be too far back. So try and find that space where the hips are directly on top of the knees. So around about there. And then we're going to consciously push our lats into the ground for 5 seconds, and then fully relax. Perfect, come out of it. We're going to do a few more specific handstand stretches and then we'll move on to the actual session. So, next thing is we want to focus on knuckle raises. So we're going to get into an all-four position, and all we're going to do here is we're going to lift the palms off the ground with the thumbs in the air, and then we're going to place the palms back nice and softly. So we don't want to forcefully drop the palms on the ground. We want to make sure that we're controlling the tempo all the way down. So we're going to do 10 of those. So with this, you can also put more intensity through the knuckles if you lean forward more, and then take it away if you lean back a bit more as well. Good, right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to focus on is the PMF lat opener stretch. Andy is in position right now, so his feet are grounded, his belly is grounded, his arms are grounded, and we're basically using a stick or a dowel to assist with this. So you can use anything that you can find at home that's pretty much a stick shape. We've put 2 pads underneath the stick so that his hands are not crushed underneath the stick when we perform the actual stretch. So with this, you can either do it on your own or with your friend. With a friend, what the friend will do is place his foot on the stick. And if you don't have a friend, then you can always place something heavy on the stick so you can't force the stick up. Okay, so Andy's gonna try and lift the stick up off the pads first. So that's his basic measurement of testing where he is with his handstands. At the moment, his belly is drawn in, so Andy, draw the belly in. Good, the feet are grounded, and he's lifting the stick up. So that's how far he can lift with the stick. How many inches is that? About 2 inches, 3 inches?
2 or 3.
So that's about 3 inches he's lifting it up. Now when we test this out again, once he's performed the PMF stretch, you'll see that he'll get more range. Okay, so I'm gonna put my foot on the stick, and then Andy's gonna perform the drill. So he's gonna lift the stick up as hard as he possibly can for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He goes again. 2. 8, 9, 10. Rest again for 10 seconds, and then we'll do one more round. And then he relaxes. He's basically gonna retest the stretch out and see if he can get more range in the lat extension. So whenever you're ready, Andy. Good, so he's gone up about twice the height he was lifting it up before. So the reason why this happens is our lats have more range than we use, and because we don't use that range on a daily basis, we tend not to get to that stage straight away. So by doing this PMF stretch, you almost trick the body into thinking that you've got more range. So try this out, guys. How was that, Andy?
Cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Perfect. Okay guys, so the first drill we're going to focus on is the chest to wall handstand drill. Now the focus here is to try and get your feet on the wall whilst keeping your chest facing the wall. With a lot of beginners, what usually happens is they learn the handstands when they kick up against the wall with the back facing the wall. We don't want to do that because we don't want to learn bad form. And a lot of people you'll see will start bananaing when they kick up against the wall. Whereas when you go chest to wall, the back tends to be a lot straighter. So there are two ways of going on the wall. The first way is to cartwheel against the wall and just get your feet directly onto the wall. And the second way is to walk your hands backwards and walk your feet up against the wall. The first method is a lot easier once you've learned how to cartwheel, plus it teaches you how to exit a handstand as well. I've already created a video showing how to cartwheel against the wall, and I think it's on my Instagram, so if you just scroll down, you'll find it. So try that out. If not, you can just always walk up against the wall and learn the handstands that way as well. But ideally, with cartwheeling, you will also learn how to exit a handstand. So if you've got fears of going into a handstand, freestanding, and you're struggling to go straight, the learning the cartwheel definitely does help. So whilst you're performing the chest to wall handstand drill, the goal here is to make sure that your feet are the only thing that is touching the wall. You'll also notice whilst performing this drill that the hands are anything between shoulder width apart and forearm width apart. You want to push the ground away, so we're elevating the shoulders, draw the belly in, and then you want to draw the rib cage down and just try and hold yourself in line. If you try and focus on squeezing the ears with the shoulders, that tends to help as well. We want to hold this for anything between 10 to 60 seconds. The goal is to try and get a minute against the wall, but when you're first starting off, try and build up to it and don't try and force yourself to go to failure. So the next drill we're going to focus on are scissors kicks or toe pulls. This drill is broken down into 3 stages. The first drill is to try and take one foot off the wall, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then swap feet and take the other one off the wall. The focus here is to try and pull the leg off ever so slightly. We don't want to emphasize the arching in the lower back. We want to make sure that the line is still straight. So you're taking your feet off anything between a couple of inches up to about a foot, depending on how close to the wall you are. The closer you are to the wall, the shorter the distance is that you're taking the foot off the wall. So yeah, try and focus on keeping the toes pointed as well. Again, try and hold it for a couple of seconds and then swap sides and take the other foot off the wall. The next stage with this drill is to try and take one foot off the wall whilst keeping the other foot on the wall. So we're alternating feet. So as one foot comes off the wall, the other one goes onto the wall. So there's a split second where both feet are off the wall at the same time. I call this drill the scissors kicks. And then the final one is the toe pulls, where you take both feet off the wall at the same time. So with this drill, you want to push the shoulders forward first ever so slightly, then push the hips forward, and finally try and pull the toes off the wall using your hips and by pressing the fingers into the ground. Now, a little trick with this drill is to try and shift the weight from the fingertips to the sort of heel palm of your hand and see if you can take the toes off the wall that way. But also by doing this, you will also fall off the wall a couple of times as well. So you'll just have to get used to cartwheeling off the wall. The next drill is kicking up against the wall, and we're going to perform heel pulls. So if you're someone who's a complete beginner at performing handstands, you might struggle with this drill unless you've mastered how to kick up against the wall. So what I would suggest is you learn how to kick up against the wall first, then try this drill out. So basically what we're doing here is we're kicking up against the wall, we're placing our heels against the wall, and now we're going to pull the heels off the wall. So it's basically the reverse positioning of the chest to wall drill. Instead of pulling our toes off the wall, we're pulling the heels off the wall. And one thing I tweaked with this drill is I would perform this drill with a neutral head. So instead of looking at the ground, I would look at the other side of the room. The reason why I suggest this is so you change the dominant system that you use to balance your handstand with. When we use a neutral head, what usually happens is we change systems from a visual system to proprioception, and we go from looking at the ground to how it feels in our fingertips. And that's basically how we want to learn how to balance. So there's a well-known thing with balancing handstands where you want to try and create the balance as opposed to finding the balance. And what usually happens is a lot of beginners tend to find the balance at the start instead of creating the balance. So with here, the goal is to try and press the fingers into the ground and then actively draw the heels off the wall using our hips and our shoulders. So if you're really struggling with taking the heels off the wall, you're more than welcome to take one foot off the wall, balance it for a couple of seconds, and then swap feet. But I wouldn't recommend that unless you're really struggling with the drill. So that's pretty much it for the beginner drills for performing handstands. Now I'll try and record other drills that I've learned over the years to help you guys out. These drills definitely become quite tedious because you're having to repeat them over and over again, but that's the only way you're going to get good at handstands. So I would recommend a minimum of 3 times a week of training these drills, and if you can increase it, then by all means do that. The more you spend in your handstands, the better you'll become at it. So it's just like any other skills. So in regards to rest times, I would definitely recommend you rest for a minimum of 3 minutes between each set. I've always found with my own training that between 3 to 5 minutes is a good time to aim for. Definitely try and restrict your capacity to about 85% maximum. That will go a long way towards learning the handstands and minimizing injuries through your journey. And if you guys are quite advanced students, then I've already posted a video on my YouTube channel where I teach you how to perform a press to handstand. So you guys can check that out as well. But I would only recommend that for people that have already got a 30 seconds to a minute handstand already. So you have to be quite competent with the handstand. Okay, so that was our handstand session of today. Let me know if you've got any questions about form or anything related to handstands. I think Andy and I are both exhausted. So if you like this video, push that like button, drop us a comment down below in the comment section, and we'll catch you in the next video. Done.